What's up, guys? Today we're in front of the EK booth, and I've just run into Gear Seekers.
That's me, your boy Nick. What do they got this year? Anything interesting?
They've got a couple of new things.
I guess we're going to find out. Well, I guess you guys are going to find out.
We are going to find out.
Right here on Designs by IFR. Let's do an EK thing.
For those of you who want an all-black system, we finally have space black coolant from EK. All of the concentrates have actually been discontinued by them, and they're only going to be shipping the 1 liter premix bottles. Having the space black in the mix of coolant colors is going to come in really handy because I hate mixing black. So this is the EK BTF skeleton case, and it has a front distro that is absolutely massive. This is a 2-compartment distro, so you do have 2 pumps here on the inside, which means you could run 2 different coolant colors here at the front. And that is really interesting because you have 2 closed loops for your CPU and your GPU. So this case is designed in a way where you can see straight through to the back of the chassis, and the motherboard does look like it's kind of floating in the air here. There's these CNC'd aluminum standoffs that are holding the motherboard up right here. The tray has also been revised from the case that was announced at CES. This is the BTF motherboard tray, and I believe this is going to be the motherboard tray that ships with this case. We do have the ability to have up to 3 420 millimeter radiators. We have 1 here at the bottom, 1 at the top, and 1 in the back. We are being told that this case is being moved into production, and we will be seeing a very limited quantity of units. We're being told it could be as few as 50, and they are intended to release at the end of this year, and that does include the distro plate. And the price is going to be, we're being told, over $2,000 for this very limited edition case from EK. So we're here in front of the CPU blocks at the EK booth, and with me I've got Joe from EK. Are there any new CPU blocks coming up or coming out, or anything that you guys have on display that you want to show us?
New block.
The new one. So this is Velocity 3. So what's new, what's different?
So the main different thing is it's small again. This won't be all of the Velocity 3s, but this is the universal Velocity 3.
Okay.
This fits both Intel and AMD, so you can rebuild this for each socket.
So what problem is a universal block solving for the consumer?
People can choose to change socket, you know,
That's true.
They can just buy one block, and if they change from AM5 to, LGI 1700 or vice versa,
Okay.
they can keep the block, just swap the parts around.
So it gives you the versatility to be able to change your parts around and not have to purchase a new water block, which is something new to the industry.
Right.
So you said that this is just the universal one. Will there be one that is socket specific moving forward?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll still have the big ones.
Okay.
They'll come in time. We'll probably wait till we have all the details of the new CPUs so we can optimize them for those, right? If there's any changes to the die layout, if they need to be fine-tuned. This is already outperforming the Velocity 2 at both sockets that it fits. Set up in Intel mode, it beats Velocity 2 that was specific for Intel by 2 degrees. And set up for AMD, it beats the AMD block by 4 degrees.
What about the block causes it to be more efficient or better at cooling?
So you can turn around the cold plate independently from the top.
Okay.
And you can turn around the insert.
Okay.
And also the jet plate, you can flip that. So in one position, it's on the center line, you flip it and it's offset. So then it's in the line of the AMD chiplets.
So this is coming in 4 colors, correct?
There'll be the full black with copper, acetal nickel, white acetal nickel, and a plexi nickel.
Perfect. And then when are these expected to be released?
Probably around August, September time.
Perfect. And is there a price point yet for this block?
We're hoping to come in around $120 mark.
So if you guys are interested in learning more about Velocity 3, there will be more information available on the EK website following Computex in their press release of the event. All right, so this project in front of us is something that's really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more about it. This is called Nexi, and Joe, again, is going to kind of talk us through what this is.
Primarily, this is a product line that was built for SIs, so everything that's important to them was kept in mind throughout. That's going to make it good for consumers too. It was focused around speed of assembly, right? Because that's their biggest cost, putting the thing together. Long-term use, so it's reliable for their customers, and that it delivers the performance they need. It combines everything that makes AIO good, everything that makes it good for long-term use, without too much hassle, too much maintenance, all that stuff.
Will there be a new type of configurator available on the EK website to configure the Nexi system?
There will, but it will be very simple. So we'll lay out the optimal configuration for certain cases, and say, these are the biggest, best radiated layout to have. This is the optimal fan orientation for that build, and include the right length tubes for the build.
Okay. And then the CPU block in this is universal, correct? And it
Yeah.
should fit most consumer CPU models, right?
Yeah, so if it's an LGA 1700 and AM5,
Okay.
nothing needs to be reconfigured, it's just installed directly on. So.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the GPU block, because that is one thing, you did mention it has two parts to it, and that is one thing that is not quite universally compatible in like a ready-to-ship type kit, but you do have to choose which graphics card you have to determine which GPU block is shipped out with the kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're buying this system in volume, it works a little bit different than if you will buy it as a consumer.
Okay.
So in volume, you would be able to take a very high quantity of the cooling core.
Okay.
So that fits any 4080, any 4090, and even some 4070 and 4070 Ti. You can fit that to basically any of the current 40 series cards you're likely to use in such a system. So you can hold a high volume. And then when it comes to a specific PCB, you just need to get the heatsink.
Right.
So the heatsink comes in the set with the backplate. You buy that for the specific PCB. So this is a strict stuff heatsink.
Okay.
Combine it with the cooling core, and then it equips it for a strict stuff card.
Nice. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the QDCs on the pump reservoir combo here.
Right.
For the consumer side, do the QDCs serve any sort of purpose? Obviously they do on the SI side with something we're going to talk about here in a second, but on the consumer side, do the QDCs actually serve any type of purpose?
You can still use them to very conveniently connect a tube. You know,
Right.
as you would connect a tube when you want to drain a system, you can have the female half of the QDC, just push it on there, and you'll drain the reservoir.
When is this kit expected to release? And what would be the price point when it does come out?
So as we said, our focus is on SIs.
Okay.
So it's going to come for them first.
For them first.
We're trying to have it in September. We're going to hold it back until next generation GPUs are ready. The price to them will be half what they would expect to pay for Quantum.
So there is one more thing I wanted to take a look at, and that is the DFF machine.
Right.
Which is right over here. So this is the DFF system from EK, and DFF stands for drain, fill,
And flush.
flush. That's right. So what is this other than that, and what is it used for? Start with that.
Effectively, it's an expansion of the Nexi line
Okay.
that aims not only to improve the time of assembling system, but improving the time of commissioning it. If you imagine that the system's built, it's all been assembled, pushing it together was easy, and then it comes to filling it. You just connect up the QDCs that are on the reservoir to the QDCs that are in here,
Okay.
set the program you want to do, and this will commission the system on its own.
So I've heard that this machine actually can generate a report of the system after it's done performing the maintenance.
Right.
So what type of report would you expect from the machine?
So
And this would be something that an SI would be able to deliver to their client to show that the job has been performed and their computer has been serviced.
yeah.
Okay.
So the first step it's going to do is leak test the system, right? If it's a brand new system, before coolant goes in, before cleaner goes in, the first thing it's doing is going to leak test.
Right.
So it can apply a pressure and measure that pressure over time, and just give you a report of what the pressure drop was in a certain period. You will then have like a pass-fail on the leak test. Then it can move forwards to its cleaning cycles that you request, to the flushing cycles, and then the filling. And you can generate a report to say what was done, in what order, and what the total volume of coolant added to the system was.
This is interesting because this is the first time I've ever seen a company really put the effort into not only maintaining the products they sent out, but ensuring the longevity of the products that they get into their customers' hands.
Right. Yeah, that's the principle. We don't just want to save the effort of SIs on day one. It's not about just making it really easy to get the product assembled. It's about making it easy to commission it, then maintain it. Cutting that time out, making it faster to commission systems, faster to work on liquid-cooled systems, that's the real aim. So the product we'll be bringing along is the bypass valve.
Okay.
So here it's set up as if you would use it without the DFF, right, for a consumer. But if you'd put a QDC on both sides of here,
Okay.
and you had the loop through, then when you put this in its diagonal position, so you're connecting here, here, and here, here,
Okay.
then it's doing exactly the same thing as the valve in the reservoir.
Right.
So you would connect the QDC to both sides, and it's going to flush through this loop.
Right.
Right? That's the key thing is you create like a dam in a loop. You create a block so that those two QDCs are on either side of it,
Right.
and then it can run through the entire system. So any air gets pushed through, any contaminants get pushed out.
Nice. Well, I'm glad to see that EK is taking the time to actually do something like this and implement it into the market. And I appreciate you showing me around the booth. Thank you so much.
Good
I'm
to have
really
you.
excited to see everything come out later this year.
Yep.
And that's it.